Why use sauce at all? The alien questioned. A bite of barbecue ribs gave them clarity. The smoky tang of the glaze melded with the tender meat in a way that transcended their understanding of earthly indulgences. Their silver-gray skin shimmered faintly under the fluorescent lights of the diner, and their elongated fingers trembled slightly as they reached for another rib. Around them, the small crowd of truckers and locals stared, some in fascination, others in horror. It was not every day that you saw an alien savoring barbecue, especially one who had landed, literally, in the middle of a rural Arkansas highway the night before. Sheriff Callahan had been the first on the scene. The alien, whom the locals had quickly nicknamed Zorik, had emerged unscathed from the glowing wreckage of their sleek, disc-shaped craft. Unlike the hostile invaders from the movies, Zorik seemed more curious than dangerous. Now, less than 24 hours later, Zorik sat in Joe's roadside diner, the pride of Rutherford County, with a pile of ribs stacked before them. Sheriff Callahan had taken it upon himself to civilize the visitor, starting with the finest cuisine the South had to offer. The alien's question hung in the air, leaving the sheriff momentarily speechless. "Well, sauce makes things better," Callahan stammered. He wiped his hands on a napkin, the checkered tablecloth beneath them already stained with barbecue sauce. "It's like a tradition." "Tradition," Zorik repeated, their voice melodic and tinged with an otherworldly echo. "Explain." Callahan hesitated. "How do you explain something so deeply ingrained it feels like second nature?" "It's about adding flavor," he said finally. "Enhancing what's already good." Zorik's large, almond-shaped eyes narrowed, as if considering the weight of this revelation. Enhancement. Flavor. They reached for a rib, meticulously dipping it into the sauce before taking another bite. A low hum emanated from their throat, almost like a purr. Across the diner, Betty, the owner, leaned against the counter, her cigarette dangling from the corner of her mouth. "I'll be damned," she muttered. "That thing likes my ribs." "Ain't no thing," Earl, one of the regulars, retorted. "It's an alien." "Ah, dung spaceman." "Spaceman or not," Betty shot back, "they got good taste." The conversation turned to murmurs as Zorik set down the rib bone, their movements deliberate. "Your sauce," they said, "is a revelation." Betty snorted. "You hear that, Earl? Even aliens know I'm the best pit master this side of the Mississippi." But Zorik wasn't done. They leaned forward, their eyes locking on Callahan's. "This enhancement, it is unique to Earth?" The sheriff shrugged. "I guess so." "Interesting." Zorik folded their hands, their gaze never wavering. "I must learn more." What followed was a whirlwind of events that would forever alter the sleepy town of Rutherford County. Zorik's curiosity extended far beyond barbecue. They wanted to understand Earth, its people, its traditions, its flaws and triumphs. But as days turned to weeks, it became clear that Zorik's interest in humanity wasn't purely academic. Strange occurrences began to ripple through the town. It started subtly. The crops in Old Man Jenkins' field grew 3 times their normal size overnight, their colors unusually vibrant. The water in Lake Marigold turned crystal clear, the fish within multiplying at an unprecedented rate. People whispered about Zorik's gifts, though no one could say for sure if the alien was behind these phenomena. And then the dreams began. Residents reported vivid, almost lucid dreams in which Zorik appeared, guiding them through surreal landscapes. In these dreams, they spoke of unity, of a shared purpose that transcended borders and differences. Some woke feeling inspired, others unsettled. For Callahan, the dreams were personal. In one, he stood in the middle of an infinite desert, the stars above shining brighter than he'd ever seen. Zorik stood beside him, their silver skin reflecting the starlight. "Your world," they said, teeters on the edge. The edge of what? Callahan asked. Transformation, Zorik replied. Or destruction. The choice is yours. Callahan woke in a cold sweat, the weight of those words pressing on him like a physical burden. He couldn't shake the feeling that Zorik had come to Earth for a reason far greater than sampling barbecue. As weeks turned into months, Rutherford County became a focal point of global attention. Scientists, journalists, and even government officials flocked to the small town, all eager to meet the alien who loved barbecue. Zorik, ever patient, entertained their questions but revealed little about their origins or intentions. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, Zorik stood at the edge of Jenkins Field, staring into the distance. Callahan approached, his boots crunching against the dry grass. "You planning on staying?" he asked. Zorik turned, their expression unreadable. "Perhaps. Your world is complex, beautiful, flawed. Ain't that the truth?" Callahan muttered. He hesitated, then added, "But I gotta know, why'd you really come here?" For a long moment, Zorik said nothing. Then finally they spoke. "To understand. To learn if your species can overcome its nature." And Zorik's gaze shifted to the horizon. The answer remains unclear. The sheriff exhaled, the weight of those words settling heavily on his shoulders. Whatever Zorik's true purpose, one thing was certain. Their presence had already changed Rutherford County forever. And as the stars began to dot the night sky, Callahan couldn't help but wonder if Earth, too, was on the brink of transformation.